This week, we're taking a look at how dual national crises are impacting the front lines of the pro-life movement right now: pregnant women and the work of pregnancy care centers. During this historic time, while states are beginning to reopen from the coronavirus pandemic and nationwide protests grow in number in response to George Floyd's death, pregnancy care centers are continuing to serve pregnant women in need. This as the abortion lobby is forcefully pushing for an expansion of chemical abortions with fewer restrictions. But what impact is all of this having on women? And should we expect an uptick in abortions as a result from these two major national crises? To help us check the pulse on the pro-life movement during this historic time, we are joined via Skype by Jor-El Godsey, the president of Heartbeat International. Heartbeat International is the largest worldwide network of pregnancy help organizations. Jor-El, welcome to the show. What are you and your network of pregnancy centers hearing from women right now? And are you anticipating there will be an uptick in abortions?
Well, the answer to that is definitely yes. We know that the abortion industry is seeing this as an opportunity to increase their outreach. They stayed open even as other so-called essential surgeries and procedures were denied, and abortions are increasing. And certainly if it's a crisis pregnancy in the midst of normal times, it's probably even more so in the hearts and minds of women who are facing an unintended, unexpected pregnancy. And so abortion becomes more of an allure to them. So we've been able to serve them and impact them. The centers have stayed open, Catherine. That's what's been beautiful. Even as stay-at-home orders have been issued, they might not have stayed open, like be able to walk in like you would have normally done, but they've still continued to serve. And that's what's been amazing about the pregnancy help movement across the U.S. is still adapting, being flexible, impacting their community with life-saving services.
What have your centers been hearing regarding abortion pill reversal?
Well, this has been an ongoing thing. It's been something as you've highlighted in the past. It's been ramping up. We know that the estimates, even in 2020, are that there are going to be about 50% of all abortions in the U.S. will be chemical abortions. And we're actually seeing that play out in our abortion pill reversal process. We have an abortion pill rescue network where we have nurses that will answer calls in for those that have taken that first pill and are now immediately regretting it. And there's a window of time where we can introduce the abortion pill reversal protocol. We can connect them with a life-affirming pro-life doctor that will help them accomplish that wherever they are in the country. We're doing our level best to make it happen, and we've seen those numbers go up. So even in the last 3 months, while many things have been shut down and moving in another direction, our calls at Option Line have been 30% higher than normal, and our calls at the Abortion Pill Rescue Network have actually been at record levels for us.
Well, that is so telling. Jor-El, the topic of race is at the forefront of our national conversation right now. How is Heartbeat International dedicating resources specifically to minority communities?
Well, this has been one of those adventures that the pregnancy help movement has been on for a long time, because the minority communities have been targeted by folks like Planned Parenthood. Just look at where they locate their service centers. They do so in the middle of urban areas. They seem to target minority groups, and we know that the statistics tell us that the minorities have been disproportionately higher abortion victims over the last several decades. So our outreach hasn't changed so much in the last few weeks because it's been ongoing for decades. But one of the interesting things that people might be interested in knowing about is Heartbeat's a life launch program where we're helping centers get open, new pregnancy center organizations get open, and some of those are in urban areas, some of those are in underserved, all of them are in underserved areas, but some of them are in rural areas, different places. We need more life-affirming help going out, and it's been great to be a part of the life launch effort to help centers make that happen.
Absolutely. Jor-El, can you speak to what the health and safety precautions pregnancy care centers have taken amidst the coronavirus pandemic?
Sure. Those that have been able to continue serving in person have adopted, of course, the PPE, the personal protection equipment, have instituted protocols for social distancing. They're either maybe allowing fewer people, limiting in the waiting room. Just like when you encounter your doctor's office, you have to wait outside. There's been varying things depending upon each state's adaptability to this environment. But whatever they can do to still continuing providing that life-affirming help, that relational impact. A lot of services have moved online, where we had parenting classes and follow-up consultations. Those have been able to move online. I mean, how many of us are now new Zoom experts where we were not before? Well, that's exactly what's happening in our pregnancy center communities. And they're even engaging people in different and dynamic ways so that services can continue. We actually have several centers that have been doing home deliveries of material items and whatnot. So it's an awesome thing to see, like the adaptability of really this life-saving impact.
Finally, can you just share a word about the importance of offering women hope and resources amidst a culture of fear and panic right now?
Well, hope is the number one thing that we should all have. And of course, fear and panic wants to steal that hope from all of us. And look, an unexpected, unintended pregnancy is difficult. It's an issue of fear and panic in even the normal times, and even more so in the midst of dual national issues like we're facing. But it all comes down to loving, compassionate, non-judgmental help. And that's what really will overcome fear. Things like the love approach. And, whether it's localized to that person or it's in the midst of something that we're all experiencing globally, it is the one thing that we should always traffic in. So we're grateful that at Option Line, Abortion Pill Rescue Network, that we can connect people to life-affirming help across the country and even outside the country.
Jor-El Godsey, president of Heartbeat International, thank you.
Thank you, Catherine.
We continue our conversation now with Tessa Longbons. She is a research associate for the Charlotte Lozier Institute and joins us via Skype. Tessa, welcome to the show. Tell us, what does your research indicate about abortion during this unprecedented time?
Well, thanks so much for having me, Catherine. So we won't have the official numbers until states start to release their 2020 abortion statistics, but we have unfortunately heard reports that abortion rates are going up in some states during the coronavirus pandemic. Tragically, a lot of women, when they find out they're pregnant during the pandemic, are scared because they could be out of work, they could be nervous about being pregnant and giving birth during a pandemic. And so we've heard reports that some abortion centers are very busy. But we've also heard reports from other states that abortions have actually gone down because due to travel restrictions, abortion providers haven't been able to fly in from out of state to do abortions. So it's really varied from state to state. And it's something we're going to be watching for as states begin to release reports.
Tessa, abortion activists are pushing right now for chemical abortions with fewer restrictions. Do we know yet if more women are undergoing chemical abortions this year?
Yes, so abortion activists have taken advantage of the coronavirus to sue to remove Food and Drug Administration safety protections on the abortion pill during the pandemic. This would allow the abortion pill to be distributed by mail or through a pharmacy. And so we don't know exactly how many chemical abortions have been happening so far this year, but we do know that chemical abortions have been going up. They make up about 40% of all abortions now, and some abortion centers have said that they are seeing more women for chemical abortions. So definitely something that we are concerned about and watching for as the situation continues.
Do you think the rise in telemedicine will impact the abortion debate moving forward?
I think it has already begun to impact the abortion debate. This has been something that's been a priority of the abortion industry, trying to expand chemical abortion through telemedicine. Even before the pandemic, there was an ongoing trial to distribute the abortion pill by mail to women in some states. And of course, as pro-lifers, we're very concerned about this because this is obviously dangerous for unborn babies, but for their mothers as well. And it's something that we're paying more attention to and is definitely becoming more and more of an issue as we see just what damage the abortion pill can do.
Finally, the current economic uncertainty can add to the stress of facing an unplanned pregnancy. Can you quickly speak to how pregnancy care centers do offer women hope at this time?
Well, offering hope is what pregnancy care centers do best, and it's been very inspiring to see how they've been able to continue coming alongside women and children and their families and serving them during the pandemic. We've seen pregnancy care centers work to educate themselves on the risk the coronavirus poses to pregnant women so that they can reassure women and let them know that they generally don't face any heightened risks and that they can be confident about continuing a pregnancy. We have seen pregnancy care centers work to connect women who may have panicked and taken the abortion pill with abortion pill reversal, and just go alongside with them through that process and encourage and support them. And we've also really seen pregnancy care centers be very creative and think outside the box about how best to support women during the pandemic. Pregnancy care centers have created online baby registries, and pro-life groups have worked to connect people and churches with pregnancy centers in their area so that they can purchase items from the registry and get those items to the women and families who need them. So it's been very inspiring to see how pregnancy care centers have stepped up.
Absolutely. Tessa Longbons with the Charlotte Lozier Institute, thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Thanks so much for having me.